All right, it's 6:39. Let's just call the meeting to order. As soon as the mayor comes in, she can take that. I call the work session meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda is the regular business and public hearing. We're going to have the invocation by Pastor Randy Rainwater. Then we're going to have the pledge of the flag ceremony. Matters, we have a resolution in support of the Snellville Post Office by Mayor Couts, and then a presentation by Kelly McElwain. Everyone's gotten a copy of the minutes. Does anyone have anything to change either the regular business, the public hearing meeting, or the April 13th special call work session? At this point, I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Get started the agenda.
We have Mr. Dewey will be here tonight for a sound bite. I believe we're getting close to this last one. And we have committee department reports. Ms. Ferris is here to give us a report of the Board of Appeals, and Ms. McElwain will be here to give us a report of trade tourism. Consent agenda, first reading of personal care home is on for just a first reading tonight, so we'll wait for first reading will be placed on our next council meeting on May 14th. And then we have the consideration action on attorney's engagement letter. Those are the fees of Mr. Powell, which y'all all have seen previously. Does anybody have any questions on Mr. Powell's fees? We don't have any old business. We don't have a public hearing tonight. Then we have the consideration and action on the code red system. Councilwoman Kraft.
I will make a motion for that tonight and public discussion, very short discussion.
Anybody have any questions over the code red system?
Have we checked with the other people that we supposedly need to check with?
We checked with Everbridge. We have a quote for theirs. It's $12,000. That's actually error on that agenda somewhere. It's the $12,500. Connect CTY still hasn't submitted a bid, and then we talked to MER, but MER 3 requires us to buy hardware, and we're not looking to do that. And they also qualify as sole sources. They're the only ones that have the direct line weather notification.
And that's not something. Did we also check with the other municipalities to see if anybody would be interested? When are we presenting that?
Barksville is already taking it up or about to, and what we've asked is that the contract incorporate the conditions that in the event other Gwinnett cities come on board, that we can reduce our line item or our contract.
I'll put that in the motion.
So your motion is going to be to move forward in drafting a contract?
Would you like to give you a motion? I'm happy to do that.
No, that's the same.
It's a motion to approve the sole source contract with Code Red as Snellville's emergency management system and authorize the mayor to sign this contract. The financial impact is a current bid of $9,900 per year from Code Red with a possible reduction if more Gwinnett agencies come online.
I don't think we have a contract to actually approve, so if you can make a motion to allow the mayor to execute a contract,
Okay.
not to exceed the amount of the $9,900 proposal,
Okay.
and any other conditions you want to put, but there's not actually, we don't have a written contract in front of us.
Would you like me to make it a little bit shorter and just say a motion to approve the sole source contract with Code Red as Snellville's emergency management system and just leave it at that?
I think that'd work fine.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm glad I read it. Mike?
Does anybody have any other questions about Code Red?
Along that same line, our city attorney. Now, so for this contract, we being solely driven in a way to select a company like Code Red, would that put us in a more or less of a legal position in here?
I think you're okay in this one because the contract price is below $10,000, and so you don't have to really worry about procurement issues. But what you've described is competitive bidding. It's as good as you can get. Yeah.
So long that we're below the $10,000 mark,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Consideration action on fencing at TW Briscoe Park. I believe Lisa had previously sent us some pictures of the park fence that needed to be improved and some estimates. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, that was part of the, what I had given you for the whole plan. What John and I worked up was really everything as a whole, and I'm not really, that was part of phase 3 and 4, so I'm not really sure what it is that you guys are looking to do, but what John and I worked up is really the whole comprehensive fencing for the park as a whole.
Does anyone want, well, does council have any questions of Ms. Black?
Yeah, I think we need to go back and look at it again. There's an awful lot of, $500,000 is
Well, I guess my question is
about
really, the
twice.
fencing wasn't till phase 3 and 4, so I guess what I'm asking is, are you looking to revamp how we were gonna use the SPOS money? Because I don't know where it would come from. It was coming
I'm
from.
looking to revamp how we spend it and spend less.
Well,
It
phase
wasn't
3,
even-
phase 3 and phase 4 didn't have all of the fencing repaired. The whole fence wasn't being replaced in phase 3 and phase 4, just parts of it, right? The repairs weren't being necessarily made.
Correct.
And so what I was thinking was looking at just the repairs, not what was actually being done in phase 3 and phase 4.
And that's coming out of SPOS money?
Well, I don't know, at this
That's-
point, it's
that's-
just open for discussion to see what those
Okay.
prices would be.
So you would like
So
us
if-
to go back and look at the repair, not everything as a whole, which would be
Right.
replacement of some
Because we
pieces.
have that in other places. So if we could maybe get a motion to postpone this until we can get some
Yeah.
further information from staff.
Well, I guess I'd just add to that, let's let, the fence companies, let's give them a scope of work and say, you tell us what you believe needs to be repaired, what's okay, so on and so forth, rather than us trying to, that's what they've got people out there for. Let's let them do that kind of work, and then we can disseminate from what they give us, or if it's good or bad information.
C, consideration and action on fencing on the community gardens site with SPOS fund, Mayor Pro Tem Woods.
Yes, this is, everyone asked for a consideration to have an RFP sent out on this. I have done extensive research on this. I believe that the fencing we need can be done anywhere between 18,000, no more than 30,000, depending on the quality of the wrought iron. If we go with what's around Public Works, which is a powder-coated anodized aluminum, or powder-coated aluminum, it drops the cost about 50%, to the point that you can get, there's one, it all depends on what gauge you want, but I think, we're not looking for security, so what we're looking at something that the fencing itself is gonna be less than $10 a foot, the aluminum, and then whatever the posts are. I think we need 367 feet of that, is that correct? 370 feet?
Some on that order.
Something like that. So anyway, I figure approximately $5,000, let's say round figures. That doesn't include the cement column, but we don't need a cement column every 6 feet. We can put maybe one on each side of the main entrance and break it up in half, so there's like the main arbor, which is being donated, and then one cement column on each side, perhaps in the corner. We looked at the chain link fence. The chain link fence that's there is not a commercial grade chain link fence, it's just a standard 6-foot chain link fence. You can buy 50 feet of that for $98. So, I think that could probably be prepared perhaps with the police, or with the inmates. You're gonna have to get a new top rail, and the whole left, if you're looking at the area, the whole left side is gonna have the new top rails, and have a new 6-foot strung out on that, okay? But I think that's something the prisoner crews can do. The other side, you're gonna have to put new chain link where the woods are until that's opened up. But again, I think that's only like 165 or 170 feet. And if we use the same grade that's used on that back wall and the side, you drop your cost considerably. I think you can probably get that done for under $15 a foot, and let's say no more than 20. So I think based on that, we can probably do it under somewhere around 15 to 18,000. If we go up to commercial, you're going to take that up to the other $12,000 for just for the difference in the material on the, which I personally believe is not necessary. But
So if it's more than 10,000, we have to do an RFP.
That's
RFP
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
require council's approval, so we're not taking any action on this tonight then?
No, I want actually to approve the RFPs to go out. I mean, I want to move it forward. I want to make sure it moves forward. So whatever
You
I
don't
whatever
have to
I do
vote on
with
that,
that.
you're just, I mean, that's just a
I'm not-
direction.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to see the RFP out, and I want to see it as soon as we possibly can get it out. And, there's local fence companies I know that would, and again, we need to decide whether the crews can do the re-stretching. I mean, it's really not, the poles are in, there's nothing wrong with any of the posts. It's really a very simple project to re-stretch that, or replace that with new 6-foot fencing, which again, be 2 rolls, be $200 worth of material, and, no, it'd be 4 rolls, I'm sorry, $4 worth of material. The top rails will cost you about another $300, so you know, for $2,500, that whole side can be repaired.
Okay, so you're looking at a couple different, well, first, so there's no, the council's not approving any funds to be approved tonight, so that was what was on the agenda. We're not
No,
taking
but we
any
need,
action with that.
no, we're not, no.
Okay, so we're just gonna direct staff, and we can do that in the work session, let me make sure, clarify what you're saying. First, we need to do RFP for the actual cost of the fence, but
For
you're
the
saying,
front section and the
it may.
the repair
Okay,
inside.
but hold on, let me, it may be cheaper, and I don't know, I mean, somebody may wanna come in and give us a bid for the whole fence, do we wanna break it out, or do we wanna allow them to give us a bid for the whole
Just
fence?
have them break it out in the bid, and then that way we can, you know, let's break it out into 3 different sections, have them bid each one separately, and then, you know,
I
one
just wanna make sure
section's
you're
out.
clear on that, okay.
So,
Might be
And
able to
if
get
we
under
can,
10
we'll use-
grand.
If we can, we'll use inmate labor, but if not, then we'll.
Might, if
we'll
we
look
use
at the
inlet,
price.
we may be able to get it under 10 grand.
so I understand from item C tonight, does not require action from council tonight?
Yes, sir, I need you out there digging posts.
All
We'll
right,
be
well,
there
we'll do it.
about
I'll be the first one there.
Yeah, come on, I'll be honest.
So what?
5:15, I'll meet you there. I'll bring the
All right, so,
I'll bring the camera. That's never been seen before.
we'll take a motion on both B and C then to postpone those to a later date. The RFP will take what, how long? We have to advertise it for how long, Mr. Powell?
I think it's at least a 15-day time period.
So we can't have it on our next agenda, it'll be too quick, okay. So we can take a motion to
If I
postpone
put it
that
on
to the
June.
June agenda. Then we move to D, nomination and council confirmation of Roger Lucas to the planning commission. That you all have received Mr. Lucas's application, you received it previously. He had withdrawn his consideration, but after thinking about it, he does want to serve on the planning commission, so I'm putting his nomination back up tonight.
I'd like to request that we table that. I tried to get in touch with him. I've got some questions I'd like to ask him, and he's out of town for a week. I tried calling a couple times, finally got somebody answer the phone, said he's gone till Friday. So, play it any way you want it, but
I mean, you've had his application for,
Oh, I know,
6 weeks now.
but he was off, and now he's on.
No, I mean, just for this, it was on the last work session.
Oh, I know,
on the
but when
last
I tried to
council
call
meeting.
him, I didn't get an answer, and then I finally got through.
I know, but I think he just went out of town like yesterday, and so you've had his application for
Well.
6 weeks, and it's on, you we've known for 6 weeks that this was gonna be on the agenda for.
Well, I didn't, it could, you know, it was here and it was gone, and it could have been gone.
No, it was on the work session,
I
it was
know,
gonna be on
but
this agenda.
But it was
Well,
down
we're
the
2
list.
weeks, right?
Well, I think there was an email that came out before it appeared on the work session agenda that it was gonna be on here
In
tonight.
any event, his application indicates he doesn't have a clue, and I'd like to talk to him and find out whether he does or not. So,
Well,
however
I
you wanna
think-
play it, it's
I
fine.
mean, I'm inclined to go forward with it tonight.
That's fine.
Moving on, E, consideration and action on award of bid to TW Briscoe Park Phase 2. We have done RFPs on that, that's to begin Phase 2. We rebid all those because there were some problems the first time around, and so those are just ready to go with council's approval, is that right, Chief?
Correct, and authorize the mayor to execute the contract with Reeves Construction.
Any questions about that contract?
Do you have anything to add or subtract or discuss on phase 2? that you'd
The only
like us
thing
to
I
do?
want, oh, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry, I'm thinking and not listening. I'm sorry.
Not with phase 2A, which is what is on approval now, then after this will be 2B, which is the softball portion of it, but this one's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
The only question I had was alternate 1 and 2.
Mhm.
What's the, as an alternate, it means we're either putting those in place of. Is that, I mean, based on the $1,396,317.
Okay,
We're gonna add 61,000 and then take 14 if we do these alternates. Have we decided that that's gonna be done or not?
we are recommending alternate number 2. And alternate number 1, we're not recommending.
Okay.
Alternate number 2 was you get a 25-year manufacturer's warranty, and that is for all the lighting. If the light goes out, for 25 years, basically, the part doesn't have to touch the stuff,
Okay.
which is a pretty, to me, I think that's a pretty good price for $5,000.
That includes, they're gonna, in other words, they're gonna maintain and change the bulbs and everything, or
Yes.
is it?
It's a warranty that is actually started by a proprietary company called Musco, and for competition, other companies have now bought into it. And it also has the ability to, if you've got the equipment, to basically have the system monitor itself, and they can call and let the company know what lights are out, where they are. Now, they probably will not come out and change a single light, but they will.
Wait till it goes dark?
Yeah. Or they wait until 50% out, then they come out.
Other communities haven't had that problem. I certainly hope we don't here.
We're going to glow in
This
the
is
dark
not-
balls so that if that happens,
This is snow. It's gonna happen.
Okay, that's good. I just wanted to clarify that, because I saw where it says basically it puts alternate 2. I wanted to be sure that alternate 1 wasn't around somewhere.
The only thing I have in this is that, the question was raised with it last week when we did the walk through the park with that one pavilion over there, is that we were gonna bid this in and then add something as a change order. I want to be assured that there are no change orders anticipated, promulgated,
Any change orders,
festering.
any change orders would have to come to council for acceptance anyway.
I understand that, but I want, that's not the point. The point is that we're bidding on something that we think we got one price for, and if there's a change order that comes in for, $60,000 on something, it's not what I'm bidding for, what I'm paying for tonight. That's what I'm saying. I just wanna make sure there's no change orders like that pavilion was gonna be in this. This
We
is,
certainly-
everything's above the.
We certainly don't anticipate anything like that.
Thank you.
Any other questions about the Briscoe Park?
How long has the warranty company been in business? What's the chance of them not being here in 5, 10?
It's the manufacturer, and they've been around for quite a while. We're not getting Musco, we're getting Quaylite, which is an approved vendor, so we should have a good track record of that.
My guess is it's just a reinsurance kind of deal. They buy a policy and
Right.
they sell us a policy and everybody's happy.
More than likely.
Can the insurance company?
Okay, that concludes our regular meeting and public hearing. Then we move on to the work session. First, we have Art Commission. I will email y'all, I think I mentioned to you before, the city of Swanee, and I believe the city of Wilburn has formed an art commission. It's similar to the planning commission. We discussed this briefly at our budget work retreat or work session. We do have the new Southern Gwinnett Community Arts Association that's formed. Their membership is down, and they do have a good core group of about 5 or 7 people that's their steering committee. I'd like to see us turn that group into our actual Snellville Art Commission, and then give them some direction and some city support. So I'll ask Mr. Powell to work on drafting that ordinance and have it back on the next work session for a draft. Is that enough time? Does anybody have any questions about that tonight? Then moving on to the budget, the 2013, fiscal year 2013 budget. We had a work session last week to discuss the budget. Some of y'all still had some questions and concerns. The chief did email out a new revised budget off of some of the changes that we agreed to on our work session last week. That brought our deficit down to about $105,000, is that right?
no, it's a surplus of $155,000.
I was gonna say, the one I looked at was a surplus. Is there
That makes it a lot better.
You sent her a different one?
Does anybody have any other changes or questions that they want to discuss with staff tonight?
I can speak first. I don't have any questions that I need to ask staff. I did speak to a couple of department heads on Friday, and we're still working on it, but I don't have anything firm to
Do you have any
discuss.
proposed changes you wanna go to?
Not at this time. I will, but I don't have any this time.
Anybody else?
Same boat, I'm just still pecking through it.
I will put it back on our May 14th work session. We do have public hearings on the budget beginning, what, May 29th? Is that right, Melissa? So we'll need to have a budget to present to the public by then. So if y'all don't have your changes or proposals for the May 14th work session, then we will need to have call a special call meeting before the 29th so we can go over those.
Okay.
I don't see a problem.
Moving on to C Wi-Fi, that's something we've been talking to some consultants about, trying to get some prices about making, what I call the city center area, the town green and the Spawn Town and City Hall Wi-Fi accessible, so when people are out for the farmer's market or for the concerts and things like that, they can access Wi-Fi. Those are still in preliminary stages, and so when I have some more information, I'll put it back on a work session. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Just whenever you get information, just pass it on.
You trying to do this in one system or different systems for different areas?
One system, they would create hotspots, and we've given them a map of the area, GIS, GSI? GIS map, and they're working now to see how many antennas we would need for that area, and then they're gonna get back to us. As a local citizen that I believe initially approached Eric and then has approached me, and maybe that's something we need to bid out, but right now we're just trying to get some preliminary estimates. Moving on then to soccer, a presentation